Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your Halloween 2022 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy that we need to be mindful of during Halloween. Now, Halloween is also known as Samhain in Celtic tradition, in ancient Celtic tradition, and it is the time where the Druids said the realm between the earth and the spirit world, the veil, is the thinnest. So it was the best time for divination, for predictions, for gaining a greater understanding. And that's the energy that we're going to be channeling during this time. So let's see what the cards have to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Six of Pentacles. We need to be mindful of keeping things balanced. You know, there's kind of an energy here of don't worry, I got it, don't worry, I got it type of thing. And we're waving people off. And Spirit's saying, no, if they're offering, oh, we can go halves, or, oh, I can help you out with this, say thank you, because that's going to be really important. We can also find things to be not as balanced, not as fair financially with certain things. So just be mindful with that. We're also going to be getting things back into balance. Things have been out of balance. It could be for the whole entire year. It could have been for 6 months, which is quite long enough, or a count of 6. We're going to find that things are coming back into balance now. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. So, you can't see that. Let me fix these cards. There you go. You have a gift coming in from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, of the Ace of Cups. You're most definitely taking it. You're actually crowned with taking this gift of emotional intuition, of stepping into... It's funny because there's an energy of stepping into a more... It's like a quote-unquote feminine role. It doesn't mean that you have to become more feminine. It can mean that you're becoming more comfortable with your own femininity, or however that's manifesting itself in your life, whether it's through yourself or through a partnership coming forward. There is a gift coming in, and it's a gift that others would overlook because it's not going to be as flashy, okay, as others want it to be, or others would think it should be. There is a sense here of a prosperity moving you forward, but it's very much linked to your intuition and to your kindness, which can be something that is easily overlooked. Don't overlook it. Spirits wants that to be very clear. We then have the 8. Is this 8? Yeah, the 8 of Cups. We're walking away from something we once dreamt about. There's a dream that we're looking at here, and we're like, you know what? That's not right for me. Or you know what? It's not going to happen that way. We could have even said, I'd be perfectly happy if things weren't, if my life wasn't conventional. Like, I'd be perfectly happy with whatever comes my way. We're going to find that it can be that we do want a bit more of a convention, but it's also that we're looking at our dream and saying, well, you know what? I was like, oh, I wouldn't be happy with this, or I wouldn't mind it like this, but I'm actually now tweaking that. And I'm going to see what I need and I desire for my own happiness to move forward in. We're tweaking a dream. We're looking at things and we're like, oh, I'm just going to change that a little bit, because it could have been that we went completely against convention, and now we're like, oh, well, I wouldn't mind if I had this stability and security, around me. So just be aware of this. It's coming in kind of oddly here. It really is, where it can be that we had said one thing and now we're doing another, but it's very much a dream is coming forward, and we had thought that it was one of two ways that we could have this dream. We're going to be surprised. We're going to be surprised at the way that it comes forward. With the 9 of Pentacles, we're going to be looking at things. We want to look at the big picture, okay? So it's very funny because we're going to want to look at the big picture, and then we can get absolutely bogged down by the little tiny details of things. So we're going to go from extremes. Be mindful of this. Spirit is saying be in the moment. It's going to be so easy for us to be looking at the past or looking at the, at the future, but not looking at the present. And even if we are looking at the present, we're worrying about things. We're picking up on one thing that we're just absolutely becoming like kind of obsessed with. So just be very, very, very aware of this energy coming forward. We are crowned with the Queen of Cups. Water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. If we are born on the cusp with Scorpio, if we have strong water sign within our chart, anywhere within our chart, it's coming through very powerfully. It's also handing us a gift that we would have normally overlooked completely. There is a sense here of strength through love, but yeah, strength through love, strength through compassion. It is something that isn't the traditional, big muscle strength. And so we would completely overlook it. There is also a sense of moving much more gently, much more calmly than other energies kind of would want us to move. We are kind of warring with the fire energy within us, which means that it has to be bright, it has to be shiny, it has to be showy, and then that means that we're doing it right. Spirit is saying here, no, we're taking a much more gentle approach. There is, I'm hearing prophetess. There is a sense that prophecies around us, we're either seeing things that are coming true, we're like thinking, or we're having dreams and it's like, oh, and then it happens. But there's a strong connection with our own intuition leading us forward. There's also somebody in your family or somebody that you were close to. It could be in this life, it could be in past lives, okay? That's coming through because this person is kind of witchy. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, somebody would say, like, what I do is rather witchy, whether you would consider yourself witchy or not, or they would consider themselves witchy or not. There is this sense of, oh, okay, it's a little bit hocus pocus. And they're telling you, no, it's not hocus pocus. Follow this intuition, follow this passion, because they're showing me the third eye opening. It's like you're more blessed than they were, or you have a better sight on this, or it's more acceptable now than it was then. So you have a better sight on this than they had. So just be very aware of this. They're going to be guiding you. They're taking your hand. It's mainly through, so it's mainly through words that they're connecting with you, which sounds funny, but what Spirit is saying is that they're not going to be so much giving you a symbol through like jewelry or flowers or, or smells. It's going to be a certain song comes on the radio and you're like, oh, wow, this makes me think of so-and-so. Or you're reading a passage in a book and it's like, oh my gosh, this makes me think of so-and-so. So just be known. Just let it be known that that's how they're going to be connecting to you through words. However those words incorporate themselves in your life. Somebody says a phrase that they always said and you're like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. Or, oh my gosh, I haven't heard that in a really long time. So just be aware of this. It comes through very powerfully. With the 8 of Cups, this person is actually steering you away from something that, again, you thought, oh, it's going to be like this. And they're like, oh, honey, it's kind of their sentiment right now. It's like, oh, honey, kind of like, bless your heart. It's not going to happen that way. Stop thinking it is. And you're kind of doggedly holding to this. So good for you. Good for you for knowing what you want. And they're a bit proud of that. But it's not going to be the way that you had imagined. And there's something here. Okay, so what I keep on getting is, a person who says, oh, if I don't get married, and have kids, I'll adopt. And then they get to that age and they're like, no, I don't want to adopt. I want to get married and have kids. And it has to be like this because, and I just see it as like a rush, like, because even though I said I was going to be okay with this, I'm not. And it just comes out like a rush forward, or it's like, I said I would start my own business, but now I'm afraid. They're afraid. There's a fear around something that had been stated. And I do see it as like big things, like it's like jobs and families and kids and, things that we had wanted. And now that we're coming face to face with it, it's like, oh, well, I didn't want it that way. Or, oh no, I didn't see it that way. So just be very aware of that coming through. There is this sense of we're walking away from thinking it has to be one way or another. We're walking to a new path. And that's going to be important because it's incorporating our dreams. It's incorporating what we want and what we're seeing and what's important for us. It's incorporating our dreams. So we have here the star coming in, and this is what our heart has longed for. And there's a real sense of, my heart has longed for this. I deeply desire it. And I almost gave up on it. And Spirit is telling you here, don't you dare give up on that dream. But you're taking a different path than you had thought. And you have to walk away. And have to is a bit of a harsh statement, but there's a real sense of walking away from the way you thought it should be. Because Spirit is taking over. Spirit is taking the wheel. And you're moving forward in a way that, okay, you might have thought, oh no, it would never be like this, or this way of doing it was never even in your sphere of thinking. But it's almost like miracles happen. It really is. It's like things fall into place in just like the oddest, crazy, most miraculous way. And you're like, wow. It's like jaw on the floor. Wow, I didn't expect this. So this person here, because they're saying they did it themselves, they stuck to, it had to be this way, it had to be like this, and they're saying, stop that. It doesn't matter how people perceive you. It doesn't matter when you answer your heart's calling. It matters that you do. And so know that you're in the perfect moment right now. Even if it feels like you're just shoveling out manure and it's up to your eyebrows and you can't get a handle on everything, know that they're guiding you and they're with you. Because there's an energy here, Sagittarius, of like, I'm just shoving out, excuse my language, I'm just shoveling shit all the time. I'm not getting anywhere I need to be. But you are. And that's going to be really important. Just because it's a hard time now, or just because things get frustrating, do not lose sight of what you really love and what you really desire. And also pay attention to feeling stressed out, pay attention to feeling overwhelmed, pay attention to your emotions so that you can kind of either remove yourself from the stressful situations or just be aware of them and say, okay, this isn't doing me any good. We're moving to the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is beautiful. It is a woman dressed in finery with a hawk on her arm, and like all the crops have come in. It's saying you've done well. There's a harvest coming, there's prosperity coming, there's abundance coming, there's bounty here. You've done well. And that's the energy that you're going to be embracing. Spirit is saying be very, very, very mindful. We're going to be looking at the future and get caught up in that. We'll look at the past and get caught up in that. But Spirit's saying be in the present and see what needs to be done in the here and in the now to move you forward, to utilize what you want, to utilize where you're headed, to understand you. We need to be present in the now, Sagittarius. That's going to be something that's very hard to do, especially since we might not always see ourselves as blessed, abundant, successful, all the things that we want to be. We're judging ourselves rather harshly. And Spirit's saying, stop it. There's also something here with that hawk on her arm, okay? A hawk, falconry, hawks can be deadly weapons. You have more going for you than you realize. And you're kind of poo-pooing it and saying, oh, this is no big deal. This is no big deal. It is a big deal. Stop, discounting your blessings. It moves us to the Ace of Cups. God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing you a gift of prosperity, success, bounty, and abundance is opening up a door for you in a very real way and in a way that you hadn't thought possible. Your cup is overflowing. Again, you might not see it, and it might not be something that you see instantaneously, but know that your cup is overflowing. There are blessings coming to you that as things settle down, it's like, oh, well, I can do this, and oh, I can do that, and oh, look at this, and oh, look at that. But you're also seeing what's really important and what just isn't. There is also this real sense with the Ace of Cups. Your emotions are a little bit more on the surface. So you might be finding that things impact you more. I feel like you're getting hit with things more, like you're feeling it more. That can lead you to feeling sore. That can lead you to feeling like, I'm done. I want to stay the day in bed. I want to be left alone. Just acknowledge this energy because it's very important. But there are real blessings coming in. There's a real sense of warmth around you and of beauty. So let's dive deeper. Nope, not with this deck. With this deck. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay. So that's so interesting. You have all court cards and major arcana cards coming forward. You have Temperance, Sagittarius, which is you. You're represented by Temperance in the major arcana, by the Wands in the minor arcana. And then you have the King of Wands, which is the highest court card in the minor arcana. You have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. You have the Knight of Swords, which is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And you have the King of Swords, again, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. There is a real sense with the King and Queen, okay? Here, you are embracing what you desire and want. There is a sense of knowing your words better, meaning knowing what you are saying, knowing what you want, knowing what you're going after, and not having other people sway you the way that they used to sway you. Because Sagittarius, we are so curious. We are so, kind of like dive deeper into things. Oh, there's always two sides of the story type of thing. Here, though, we're very much looking at what we want, what we're discovering, what we need, and there's a determination to it. As much as we have the loving energy of the Queen of Cups coming forward, we have that severe knowledge energy of the King of Swords. This is what I've trained for. This is what I've worked for. This is where these are where my talents lay. This is what I want. This is how I'm moving forward in my life. Nothing and no one will hold me back. There is a severity to us. There can also be sharpness in our words, so just be aware of that we can come across a little bit sharp, a little bit more intense than people are ready for. We're not going to see it because we're so passionate about what we're doing, but others might be like, whoa, Sagittarius, like, tone it down a little bit, because we are so passionate and intense. The King of Swords also cuts through a lot of negativities, doubts, fears, nonsense that has been holding us back. There is somebody around you. This person is in the waking world, okay? Coming forward more as masculine energy. But this person gets to the heart of the matter. Like, it's almost like no matter what, they will say what needs to be said. No matter what, they will rip off the Band-Aid and move things forward. So that energy is coming through very, very, very powerfully here. The Knight of Swords is the white knight of the story. It is the hero of the story coming forward. With the Eight of Cups, you're moving away from what is no longer right for you. And it's taking a hero's quest almost. It's taking a hero's determination and focus and insight and ideas that are moving you in a direction that is quite beautiful, but also takes a level of bravery that others aren't really aware of, or that you may not be aware of. There is a determination to you. Again, there can be a sharpness, so just be aware of that. We can also be dealing with somebody who is helping steer us in the right direction, but is a lot more like blunt and to the point and sharp about things than they really need to be. So just be aware of that. We can want things to change so much, or we can be so tired with, the shoveling of manure, that we can just be like, okay, anything's going to be better, and just act rather impulsively. So just be aware of that. We don't want that. Our dreams are linked to us, period, and stop. We have Temperance and the Star. So this is Sagittarius and Aquarius energy. There is a link to what our soul wants. We are seeing it. We are connecting with it. We understand it. this is going to be a time where our dreams, where our thoughts, where, it's like books and movies can seem more real than our real life. We can just be so done. We need an escape. So just be aware of that. There is a real sense of balancing our dreams with our reality. And there's also a sense of really focusing on what we want and what we're discovering within ourselves and where it is that we need to be. We're fierce. We are fierce. The King of Wands, again, you have very strong king energy coming forward. So we're embracing that masculine energy here. And we are saying, this is my passion. This is what I desire. I'm being in the moment and I'm being very present. But also we are embracing an energy of change, an energy of things moving forward in a way that is just different than we had expected it to be. So be aware of that. There is a fire. There is a purpose to us. People will see us as being much more in control than we feel ourselves at times. We're thinking, oh my gosh, why are you trusting me? Like I'm just discovering it. And people are going to be like, oh, don't worry, Sagittarius, you got this. So there's that energy moving us forward. There's prosperity, success, bounty. Be in the moment. We will find that things around us start to slip when we are disconnecting, when we are too much in the past or too much in the future and not at all in the present. It moves us to the Ace of Cups and true love. Okay. For some of us, and that's why Spirit gave the analogy before of saying, oh, I'd be perfectly okay, not having, a relationship or kids or, a home or animals or whatever it is that I want to love. And we're finding out that we're not okay with that. The Ace of Cups is us getting that gift of true love. However that manifests within our lives, it doesn't have to be in a conventional way. It can be in friendship. It can be in animals. It can be in kind of moving our own path, doing things our own way. But we are embracing true love, and we are finding that divinity is handing us that gift of true love, of what we desire and what we want. We're going to have to look for it a little bit more because, Sagittarius energy, Gemini energy, they're sister signs. So either we absolutely get on together or we absolutely don't. But there's a sense of immense curiosity, immensely diving deeper into things, immensely, looking at what we want, need, and are discovering and saying, this is my heart guiding me. This is what I desire for my life. And there is this real sense of, do I love it? And if the answer is yes, then I'm going to walk forward. If the answer is no, then I'm not. I'm just seeing, I don't know where I saw this or I read it. I don't know if it was in a movie or if it was in a book where a person said, I take a bite and if it isn't worth the calories, right, I spit it out. And they're like, even at a restaurant? She's like, especially at a restaurant. So here, which is just hilarious, made me laugh. Here, it's like, if I don't love it, I spit it out. Like, if I don't love it, if I'm not connecting with it, I don't want it near me. And that's going to be like, I step away from that energy. And that's going to be so important to us because it's really going to lift up our hearts. Now, our subconscious energy to be mindful of is rebirth. It is the fact that we are being reborn, and the rebirth is painful. Birth is painful. So here, just being aware of that we are being reborn, that we're seeing and judging ourselves quite differently than we have before. And that is going to be very powerful for us. Our subconscious tarot energy is the Chariot and the Two of Cups. The Chariot is Cancer energy, and the Two of Cups is healing, beautiful love, leading us forward. We're taking the reins. We also have love around us. Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon comes through very powerfully with its changing face, but also with its soothing energy and introspection. And we are going to find that we are embracing healing, love, a guidance forward. It's more of a sense of we're stepping into ourselves. And we're not letting other people decide who we should be or how we should be. We're really saying, but this is who I am. And that's going to be a very big thing for us. It's like, this is where I need to be. We're going to find that our hearts take us on a bit of a journey as we're fully embracing them and accepting them. And just know, I do see this energy around us where like we can have bits of meltdowns and everything just comes out so fast. It's like, why is all this happening? And then we just release it all. And it's like, I didn't want it this way. I wanted it this way. Spirit's saying, you're here for the ride. And Spirit is really the one in charge, even though sometimes it seems like nothing and no one is in charge, and nothing and no one cares. Spirit is still there for you. So just remember that. It's very important. Even if at times, it just feels like we're here all by ourselves. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this Halloween and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius, and may you have a blessed Halloween.